YouTubers? Welcome back to, you guessed it, some weirdos beer reviews. Maxwell Starr here. Maxwell Starr's beer review is going to take a look at a beer that showed up here in New Brunswick over the Christmas season. And I'll go into that detail about that in a moment, but I'm going to take a look at something from Rochester Mills Beer Co. out of Michigan. Their Milkshake Stout. Now, apparently this is a famous beer from that area, even though the brewery has only been around since 1998. I suppose that's been 20 years now. It is a stout brewed with milk, lactose, and cocoa nibs. Now, there's no comma, so I'm saying it's just milk lactose, which lactose is milk sugar, so whatever. Reading the label here, the Milkshake Stout, the combination of 4 different malts along with the low hop level, creates a deep, dark beer featuring rich roasted flavors. The addition of lactose, or milk sugar, adds complexity, body, and residual sweetness, lending a smooth, creamy texture to this full flavored beer. Ingredients are water, malted barley, lactose, cocoa nibs, hops, and yeast. It even goes further in here. It says it's all about the water. For part of the past 200 years, American brewers have searched. Okay, so I thought it said breached for some reason. Searched far and wide to find the best source of water to craft their noble beverage in the old world tradition. Clean, fresh water is the single most important ingredient in making good beer and has been highly sought after by pioneers in brewing ever since. Cheers to her glacial gift. Formed by retreating glaciers some 10,000 years ago, fresh water on Earth, we are truly fortunate to be able to draw upon this source for our pure and ample supply of fresh, clean water to make our handcrafted ales and lagers. Head down to the source, visit the brew pub in downtown Rochester, and enjoy a Mills beer paired with great food and friends. 400 Water Street, Rochester, Michigan. Yes, heck, I'm going to even read the zip code. It's 48307. Yes, I'm going to read the whole fucking can. Yeah, so to go into the deeper story, these guys, their products showed up here in New Brunswick liquor stores recently, but the biggest thing that showed up here was the 12-pack. They had a 12-pack of different variations of the Milkshake Stout. This is the original Milkshake Stout, but they had all kinds of different, like toasted coconut or mint or milk chocolate. Well, I mean, it's milk chocolate, strawberry, other variations of the style. And when it came here, it was like a 12-pack of cans, but it was $70 fucking dollars. And I noticed that when the last ones were still selling away, I think they dropped it down to like 30 something. But it kind of pissed me off to see a 12-pack of beers that I might be half interested in trying, going for $70 friggin' dollars. Along with that, my Ontario friends, they got that in the LCBO. They got the 6-pack, which only had 6 of the flavor variations, and I think they might have been different, but they only paid like $20-some for theirs, so I was like... But, lucky for me, the Rochester beers actually showed up here. This one, the standalone beer, and one of the other ones, I think it was a cake one, showed up in singles. So at the very least, I get to try something from Rochester Mills, because I'm going to be like the last person on earth to do so. So, let's crack this open and pour it into my Sam Adams Perfect pint glass. And no point putting it right down the middle because it's not a nitro stout or anything. Let's give it a nice little head. The can, it's too much of the can to put in this glass anyway. Looking at that, nice thick creamy mocha head. The body, it's dark when you look at it, but if you hold it up to the light, you can definitely see that there's a lot of brown coming through that. It's not perfectly black. And when it comes to a stout, I usually want them roasty enough that they actually blot out, or at least might have like an orange or ruby tinge around the outside edge. This one here, I guess maybe looks more like a porter. Anyway, let's give it a whiff. I get a little bit of maybe that lactose quality. Is lactose a smell? I get a little bit of like old coffee, like stale coffee. A hint of chocolate, it's very faint. And that little bit of that fake sweetener kind of thing going on that I usually associate with a little lactose taste. Except for this is in the smell. You know, smell is tied to taste, so it's not far-fetched to say it that way. It's a very faint aroma, and it's not very interesting. I guess when you call it a milkshake stout, maybe it smells kind of like a chocolate milkshake or a malted milkshake, like one of those, like a Wendy's Froster, but it's not very strong in smell at all. I don't know. Doesn't smell that exciting. Let's put her down the hatch. Cheers. Whoa. Okay. Lots of stale coffee. A big roast note to the back, but it's very diluted. Like there's a lot of roast there, but it's watery and it's weak. The body is just wet. It's just and I'm not really getting, it's not really what I would call creamy like a milkshake should be. And it's also, I'm getting the lactose sugar in the back, but it's like, weirdly enough, it kind of reminds me of drinking like a lactose-free milk where it's got that weird aftertaste. Like where it's processed. You get kind of that lactose sugar quality where it's got this weird faux sweetness that's along the lines of what was that one? Maxwell Stout, but without the flavorful body, and the body's just thin. Other than that, it's just stale coffee and a bit of chocolate. There's no creaminess. There's no real straight up sugary sweetness that I would associate with getting a good milkshake, or even a true a true milk stout. No, not feeling this. I'm just not enjoying this. I mean, it's just the flavors are weak. The flavors, how the flavors meld together just don't work together. Like they don't come together and gel into a cohesive unit that makes me think what the label on this friggin' can says, Milkshake Stout. I'm getting something that's like a half decent, half-assed, basically chocolate milk stout that's maybe just too bland. And honestly, considering the price of this thing, that's the biggest factor. It still set me back over $6 to try this can. And, you know, I'm glad I got to try it, because otherwise I would be curious for a long time and maybe waste more money in the future. But for $6, no. Not a fan of this. I mean, I can't say that it's terrible, because it's not offensive so much. It just doesn't do it for me. And I'm going to see my way of giving that a 3 out of 5. That's just, I wish it was better, but I'm not getting the Milkshake Stout. But what I am is getting something barely acceptable. Alright. Anyway, thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review of Rochester Mills Beer Co.'s Milkshake Stout. You're not missing much. Talk to you folks later. Cheers.